Yes, avoid the avoidant. Yeah, it's a disaster and you got to get away. And if you're researching avoidant and they're telling, oh, set boundaries and talk it out and do all that stuff. Oh my gosh, dated avoidance and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know they were avoiding. And as a man, you're going to try to figure it out. And it's going to be a waste of time, a huge waste of time. You're going to have to try to fix it. It's going to be a waste of time. And nothing you're going to do is going to work. The better of a boyfriend you are, the more her avoidant characteristics are going to kick in and make it difficult for you. So if your relationship is crashing and burning, it's because you're a good guy. In this case, if you're, doing everything right, trying to move things along, trying to get together, trying to express love in a healthy way, and she's doing all kinds of effed up stuff and pulling away and coming back and pulling away in this endless cycle. Yeah, it's a lot simpler than you think and that you're reading about it. What an avoidant. I did research where I'm like, this is much simpler than all these articles and all this research I'm doing. I was in the battlefield. I was on Normandy Beach, storming Normandy Beach, in this relationship of dating and avoidant. Other guys who were dating avoidance too were getting wiped out on the beach, trying to storm the beach, trying to figure it out, trying to help, trying to be a good guy. Yeah, all that stuff isn't going to work. And it's tragic. It's tragic what's going on with avoidance. They want love, but it's the scariest thing in the world to them. So when they get it from you, they're going to pull away. This isn't testing. I made this video recently on testing. This is not testing. This is a continual circular pattern. Get close, pull away, get close, pull away, blah, 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 constant. And you will not be able to, you're like, oh, she's warm and wonderful. And then she's pulling away. There's a problem. And they'll express this in different ways. I actually lived with an avoidant. I didn't know what it was. So I tried to figure it out. I tried to help. It was a complete waste of time. And I've never heard of anyone changing or helping or creating a healthy relationship and as someone who is an avoidant. They're hurt real bad. And I'm sorry about that, but you need to save yourself. Life is short. You need to move on and find someone who's healthy and wants your love, not someone you have to convince to accept your love. It's really hard for an avoidant. We're thinking, women like to talk about their feelings and express their thoughts and have, that emotional connection. Blah, blah. They may not do stuff like that. They don't want to talk about the relationship. If they do, they'll feel too close to you and then they'll have to pull away. They'll have to not see you for a week or two. Or this came up. They'll always have a good excuse why they can't get together. You will have like a great week or weekend together. And you're like, I'm getting close to this person. This feels great. And they will, like clockwork, there's a problem. You did something. Each time is some new thing. It can go on for years, but she will find a new thing each time. And you'll start to recognize the pattern. It's like, there's always a problem whenever we're feeling good. There's always a problem when this feels like this could work out. The very next step is some problem, and you'll feel like it's just made up. But you got to recognize what's going on. It's really simple. That's what they do. They avoid any kind of connection and intimacy. They want it real bad, and it's confusing for them, and it's tragic. They want that. They want it, but when they start to feel it, then they feel vulnerable and they'll find any excuse to get away. She's got a whole system set up to support her pulling away and blaming you and not facing what's going on inside her. She doesn't want to feel vulnerable. She doesn't want to be rejected. She doesn't want to be reminded of her failed marriage or what happened with her parents. She doesn't want to deal with that. And she doesn't want ultimately to be in love. She wants it, but something inside of her is stopping her. and the pattern will go over and over and over again. And I had a long-term relationship of almost a decade, and it was a constant cycle. Like every other week, she would find a problem. We would have fantastic connection. It was this amazing connection, and then and as soon as I always felt like she got too happy. It was feeling close to me that was ultimately horrible for her, and it was confusing, and an invented problem would come up. Guys, if this is what's going on with you, it's not testing. It's not what I said in this video, that I pointed out earlier. She's avoidant. She is hurt, and you would just naturally just get away. Guys now are like trying to work it out. They're desperate. They're like, "Oh, I did have good feelings from her. Let me try to get back to that." You're always trying to get back to those good feelings. You're not gonna get back to it'll be temporary. It's a trick. It's just a trick. She wants to have a little of that, but not a lot, and she will string you along. She doesn't care about you, guys. It looks like she does. She cares about self-protection. She wants to protect herself. She wants to get some emotions, but ultimately, she wants to protect herself. She's out for herself. Yeah, I don't wanna single out women in this. Sure, there are guys doing this too. That's not my experience, though. I'm talking about my experience and what I've noticed. Also, what you're gonna notice is if you're dating, 30 and up, 40 and up, and you're dating single moms, people coming out of a divorce, yeah, a large majority of them are gonna be avoidant, and they have a whole system in place to help them. They're not gonna be avoidant with their children. So they are going to take that relationship they used to have with a guy, and they're going to 100% use and manipulate their kids and have that relationship with them and have all those emotions with them because it's safer. They can control those people. They raised them and they know just how to press their buttons and manipulate them. Yeah, it's terrible. Not all single parents are doing that. Not all single mothers are doing that. But yeah, I've noticed that with women I'm dating. And the more wonderful you are, I would have these great times with a single mom, and we would be fantastic. And I'd have these pictures that they would be we'd be having a fantastic time. And then they would go away after the weekend, and it was like a switch. It was like a switch came on. All of a sudden, things were bad. There were problems. All of a sudden, there was distance between us. It wasn't working out. I was like, "What? All you did was drive a car to another place. Nothing happened, but all of a sudden there was a problem and this, and it was different from the last problem, and this can go on for years. You think you're solving the problem by talking to her and working out. A lot of times she won't be able to articulate what the problem is. She'll just pull away, and you're like, "Oh, what's wrong? What's the problem?" Then yeah, you're lost when you do that. When you're trying to figure out the problem and you're asking her what's wrong and she's not able to really articulate, you're like, what specifically, is the problem? What specifically? You're just saying these general things. You're just getting angry and mad. You're not really saying what it is. They're not going to be able to articulate it because there's nothing to articulate. What you've done is you've been a great guy, a great boyfriend, uh, someone she could connect with, and you were all those wonderful things, and that's why there's a problem. That's why there's a problem. You were a good dude. That's the avoidant. They avoid all that intimacy, and those good feelings are they want a little taste of that, and then they wanna get the heck away. It's like kryptonite. They wanna get away from that. And your natural tendency is going to want to, well, I'm working out. We had some good feelings. I felt I was feeling a connection. You'll start to feel that connection. Get away. You gotta run. You gotta get away from this. Don't. I can't. You say, oh, people can change. People were. This one, oh man, you're gonna waste a lot of time and ooh, I would generally not recommend trying to work this out, Tribe. I would not recommend trying to work this out. If she's gonna pull back, and then when you pull back, she's gonna go she's gonna come back with a little and she's gonna put out a carrot, a little text, "Hey, this, a little bit of that." She's gonna try to get in to get a little bit of that intimacy again, but just as much as she needs to feel like the feeling she wants to feel. She doesn't care about torturing the crud out of you. You get that? She's coming back. Yeah, I am coming back because I'm going to torture the crud out of you. That's what you got to interpret her coming back as, because that's what's going to happen. You're going to be like, oh, yeah, she's okay. We worked it out. We worked it out. You did not work it out. You did not work it out. You did not work it out. She's coming back. She's going to sucker you in again. And then she's going to pull back away. She's gone for 2 weeks. She's gone for 3 weeks. Oh, I have to spend, the entire weekend with my son or my daughter. And I had to do that. And okay, I'm doing it again this weekend. Why is she doing it 2 weekends in a row? Because she had a really fantastic time with you. You were spooning on the bed. You took her out for fun dinners. You were dancing. You were looking in each other's eyes. You were doing all this wonderful stuff. And you thought, oh, yeah, this could be, I could, let me try to take this to the next level. Let me see if she'll, stay overnight for a week or a week or two, so we can see if maybe we can live together. Mm-mm. Yeah, she doesn't want to do that because that's going to make her feel super vulnerable. Yeah. Having that relationship work out and getting that connection, you could crush her, and she feels that's her fear, and her fear is running her life. No matter how good a guy you are, no matter how hard you try, it's gonna make it worse. The cooler you are, better you are, you're gonna make it worse. Yeah, it's how could it work out? The more you're a positive influence on their life, the more you're there, the better kind of dude you are, yeah, the more she's going to feel the need to get away from you. She'll be attracted, she'll think you're handsome, she'll like the things you do. But it'll click in her and it'll be super uncomfortable and she'll just need to get away. It's tragic. It's completely tragic, but it's not your tragedy. It's tragic. It's not your tragedy, Tribe. Don't confuse this with normal testing. Women are going to test you. It's normal. It's good. It's okay. But the relationship will progress. You'll move in together. You'll do these things. You'll meet her parents. Things will progress. With an avoidant, all that will be difficult, and she will sabotage it every step of the way. And you will try to point out, hey, you're sabotaging. That doesn't work at all. They are going to attack you for pointing out their defenses. Hey, you do this every time this happens, and you pull away every time. Yeah, they will attack you for saying that, attack you for pointing out those things. They don't want to face what they're doing. They don't want to face what they're doing. It will be an eternal pattern, and it will wear you down, guys. You are going to get depressed. You're going to be confused. You're going to spend all this, you're going to waste your life trying to figure it out. Bad things happen to her, and it's terrible. She needs to get with someone and talk it through and try to work that out. And that's not you. You're not the therapist. Do not make yourself the therapist. You need to detach yourself and move on. That's why this vetting process in the beginning, take some time to get to know somebody. Take some time. Slow the train down. There are a lot of this type of relationship pattern out there. This attachment style. I know, and it's sad, and I feel really terrible. But feel really terrible about that from a distance as you detach yourself and move on to something more healthy. Once you recognize this pattern, dated a woman who with the avoidant attachment style. When she was drinking, we connected and we thought we could have something. And then every time I tried to get together with her, in just a regular situation, a sober situation. Yeah, I can't make it. I'm real busy. I can't get together during the week. I can't get together now. But like every time she was drinking, that's when the defenses were down. And she let herself get that emotion and feel that connection. And then once the alcohol wore off, it was, oh, I can't. Oh, maybe next weekend. Oh, this and that. There's always the avoidance, always the avoidance. Choosing men that it's not going to work out with. Yeah, they'll choose men that's not going to work out with, and then they'll choose good guys too. Some will just choose awful guys over and over again because they know they're not going to get detached. They know it's not going to work out. They instinctually know. And then every once in a while, they'll get with someone who's a good guy, and then they will torture them. It'll be coming in and pulling back, coming in and pulling back. They're going to be difficult. So take, 3, 6 months or more. See if things go around and around in a circle, or do they actually move forward? Do you actually go on dates? Does she call you, and then you do go out, and then you call her? Is there reciprocity, or is it just, hey, great time? Oh, you're pulling away. Hey, great time. Oh, there's a problem. Hey, great time. Now I don't want to see you. Remember, gentlemen, it's different from testing. This is a pattern you'll be able to see, but you need to do this over time. You need to watch this over time to see what you're dealing with. Hold back on your going all in. Make smart choices because, like me, it could last years and you could be a big dummy like me and try to figure it out and try to help. I wasn't able to change anything. I just lived in that pattern for years. Oh my gosh. What a waste of time. Don't make this mistake. I made this mistake. You could avoid this. Take your time getting to know someone. It's really, really important. It will save you a lot of trouble. If you find out someone's avoidant, you immediately need to go and date other people. Find healthier people. I don't know how an avoidant will change. Maybe they can change. Maybe there's a therapy out there. It's not your responsibility. And I'm sure it will take a long, long time to deal with those wounds. And I don't want to be insensitive to people who are avoidant. They suffered some serious damage. They deserve our sympathy from afar. I feel really bad for you over there. God, it's tragic what happened to you over there. You need to protect yourself, your family, your future. You got to look out for yourself. I hope it works out for you, avoidant over there. You need to avoid the avoidant. You really do. Be wary of these signs. Watch yourself. Take some time to get to know someone. If you notice this is the pattern, pull back, step back, hang out with friends, exercise your options, always stay on your goals and your mission. Then it'll be easier to maneuver and see things clearly when you are approached or come in contact with the avoidant. And guys who are older in their 50s and 60s, yeah, these women who are divorced, it can hit them hard. And I understand. Relationships for men and women in divorce, it is tough on both sides. Both sides make mistakes. Women get wounded and they give up completely and put everything into their children. They don't want to have that vulnerability. And we have a kind of culture and a system now set up to support them in being avoidant. So yeah, I meet so many women over 40 who, I'm not going to date, I'm not doing this, and they're just on the phone constantly with their children. That's your whole emotional system. If they're overly involved, they're seeing their kid every weekend, every other weekend, they're visiting the kid's visiting them. Yeah, and then, how's that kid supposed to have a life and a relationship if they're constantly, having to be with their mom or feel guilty because they're not being with their mom? Like, how's that dude supposed to date that daughter of that avoidant woman when they're so codependent with that daughter and they're so involved in that daughter? They think, I've been a good parent. No, you're smothering the crud out of that person you created instead of giving them a good life and teaching them how to have a healthy situation with their boyfriend or girlfriend. That's what's happening. And it's not pleasant to watch. It's kind of tough to watch because they're kind of, they're destroying that healthiness that that person could have, their son or daughter could have, that healthy relationship. Oh, I'm just, being supportive of my son and daughter. No, you're not. You're you're making life difficult for them, and you're making them codependent on you in that relationship. You need to you need to let them out of the nest and then be supportive in that way. You can't break their wings and keep them in the nest forever. And that's what I see a lot of the time. Is that happening all the time? Of course not. I see healthy too. Great people, my family and friends who are fantastic. These women are fantastic parents and they're supportive of their children, but at a nice distance. And they're there when they need them. They can, they let them figure out for themselves. And they're not constantly not letting them out of the nest and breaking their wings and refusing to let them fly. There's a lot of damage that goes along with not being able to be intimate and trust another person in a male-female relationship. There's a lot of ancillary damage that plays out. And I know there are people who are listening to this now who know exactly what I mean and what's that like, and they've witnessed that. So let's talk about this in the comments, everybody. What's your experience? Did you date an avoidant and you didn't really know? Are you stuck with an avoidant now? Oh my God, you know what John's saying? That's what's happening to me. That's what's happening to me. Share in the comments. Let's talk about this. It is tough. It's tough for avoidance and it's tough for the people who are dating their avoidance. And there's no blame. We all go through rough things in life, men and women. We should be sensitive to that. And again, sensitive at a distance. So protect yourself. Protect yourself. Be kind at a distance. Let those avoidance go avoid some other thing. If you're involved in this, my email address is in the comments below. Go ahead and book an appointment. I'm glad to help you out. Go ahead and subscribe. If you got something out of this, give it a thumbs up, and we'll see everybody in the next video.